Hey guys, it's the wonderful Mr. Woods here, bringing you another gameplay commentary. This time featuring Zed in the mid lane. This game played a couple days ago, and I picked Zed into Karthus. The reason for that being, Karthus is very weak early, so I want to take advantage of that. And Zed, if you don't own him, I would definitely recommend picking him up. He's one of the more aggressive mid laners. You're going to try to get kills. I mean, that's how Zed snowballs. He's a very snowball-oriented champion. So once you pick up a few kills, you can easily carry your game. And you're going to see me, spoiler alert, you're going to see me do that in this game. For Zed, I do run attack damage quints. You can run lifesteal quints, but I personally like to run attack damage quints. It just gives me that little edge I need in lane to get more harass off. I run attack damage marks, armor seals, and flat magic resist glyphs. I believe for this match I'm running 21-9 masteries, just to have that little extra defense in lane. Now, as you can see here, Karthus he can be very annoying. Those little skittles will definitely screw you up, so you need to try to dodge those as often as possible. Now, what I could have done in this game, what I probably should have done, is started boots pots, just to give me that extra mobility so I could dodge. And right here, Jarvan comes in for the gank. I immediately ignite, and we're able to take Karthus down. Karthus is one of those champions. He's very squishy early game, so you need to take advantage of that, and you need to try to kill him as fast as possible. And especially if you're playing Zed, Zed gives you the opportunity to do that. Now, my Zed mechanics are probably terrible, but if you can learn to play this champion, you're definitely going to have an easier time in solo queue. You're going to be able to carry your games quite easily. So here, I'm thinking about going back to the base, but I'm a little greedy. I don't want to go back just yet. I do have one pot left, so I'm gonna just chill here and try to keep this Nasus around. Now, right there, you do not want to get hit by that wall. It is a slow, but something a lot of people don't know, it actually lowers your MR. So if he hits you while you're in the wall, you're gonna take a lot more damage. So here my Jarvan's trying to come in again, but he can't really do anything, so he's just going to go back. So I'm just going to continue to farm up the mid lane. And also something I want to talk about today is your build. What I see a lot in solo queue and what people fail to realize, I understand that there's sites out there that will show you, okay, this is exactly the build you should build for this champion. And, you know, we got the Mobifire, we got solomid.net, and that's fine, and that's a good base for you to go off of to find out what items work well with the champion that you're playing. But on the other hand, you need to itemize based on what you're going against. So if I'm going against all AD champions, I'm not going to build magic resist. If a certain item works well with my champion, but it doesn't really match up with what I'm playing against, I'm not going to build that item. So you can't find these cookie cutter builds and just expect them to work for every game. If I'm against a double AP, I might want to build a Hex Drinker early in lane. If I know if their jungler's AP and their mid's AP, I may want to build a Hex Drinker. This game, I decided not to early. I decided to just go with some Merc Treads to combat Karthus. Just because I felt like he wasn't doing enough damage for it to warrant a whole nother item. But those are the decisions that you have to make. You have to be strategic, you have to look at the enemy team comp, and you also have to look at what they're building. I mean, it's very easy to get tunnel vision and say, okay, I'm going to build this item and this item and this item, but you can't do that. You have to use your brain, you have to look at what they're building, and build accordingly. So here I hit level 6, and that's a huge power spike for Zed. He gets his ultimate. The new ultimate is very good. Honestly, it's a little bit harder to chase, just because It used to be that when you used your ultimate, it would spawn a shadow at or behind your enemy, but now it won't do that. It will spawn it at the location where you use your ultimate. Now the way you can use this to your advantage is you can go in on them. You can use your ult. You can do a bunch of damage to them, and then you can teleport back to your ultimate shadow. So this is good for tower diving. This is good for assassinating someone from the fog of war and then escaping. It's got a lot of different uses. And it takes a lot of practice. You know, I'm not the best at using it. I'll have to admit that. Another good thing about Zed is farming. I mean, it's so easy to farm a Zed. I mean, a lot of AP mid champions, early on, their wave clear is not that great, so they're going to have a hard time farming. And you could see right now, I mean, I did kill Karthus, so obviously that's going to mean he's down in farm, but I have 42 farm. Karthus has 29, so he's obviously having a hard time. And right there you saw, I'm just getting off a little harass, and that's something that a lot of people don't even think about, is you shoot out, shoot out your shadow, and here I go and use my ultimate and kill him instantly. Very easy kill, as he's still very squishy. I saw, and this is another thing, like I was talking about before, look at their build. He came back to lane, and all he had was a tier. That doesn't give him any defensive stats, so I know he's still very squishy, and then if I use my ultimate on him after I harass him a little bit, he's probably going to go down really fast. So, like I was talking about before, you can throw your W out, you can throw your shadow out, you can harass him, and then the shadow's just sitting there next to him, and they don't really pay attention to it. So what you want to do is then teleport to your shadow and start harassing them, and it will definitely take them off guard. Unfortunately, in that scenario, I did take a tower shot when I did it, but I still got off playing harass on him, and it allowed me to get the kill. So I'm doing pretty well so far. Trying to just farm up, get kills, do whatever I can to snowball this game. My top lane's doing all right, and I'm the only one doing well, I would say. Riven's trading kills with Olaf. So I'm looking to... Usually what I'd be looking to do at this point is push my lane out and go somewhere else and, pick up some kills, either in the bot lane or, wherever I see an open opportunity, I'm going to be looking to go get some kills. So here I see 3 bottom. I see the jungler come out, so I'm going to go down there and try to help. I see Nasus, so I'm thinking maybe I can hide and do something, but he takes off the other direction. And here I'm just looking to take someone out, but I get hit by that. Hit by the Dark Binding. I jump out. There's nothing I can really do here. So I use my ultimate just to get away, dodge whatever skills are going to be thrown at me. Just to put some damage out on Nasus, so it makes it harder for him to fight. I figure I can't really do anything, so I'm just going to back out. Zed is a very squishy champion, so you need to be careful with your positioning. As you can see there, I got very easily trapped. I would have died if they had all gone in on me, so I immediately used my ultimate to back out. And that's another great use of his ultimate, is being able to either dodge ultimates or just use it as an escape tool. So I pick up Merc Treads, and I already had my Brutalizer. Brutalizer early on Zed is good. Some people like to rush Blade of the Ruined King right away. I personally like the Brutalizer. Sometimes I will build Blade of the Ruined King right away, but the Armor Pen on the Brutalizer is good. It's a very good early item. It's good on a lot of champions. It's got the cooldown reduction, and it's got the armor penetration, so it's a good early item on him. If I would have been losing lane, I may have just gone straight for a Hex Drinker, so that harass from Karthus wouldn't hurt quite as much. And here I see Nasus. I had already placed a ward there. I could have done a little bit better job kind of baiting him and making him stick around and waste his time, but unfortunately I don't do that. So here I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do. Okay, I'm just going to stay in lane, harass Karthus a bit more. And see, that's one of the things about facing Karthus as a melee champion, is he's going to drop that wall on me every single time. So what I want to try to do is bait it out from him, and then once it's on cooldown, try to go in on him, because it is a pretty decently long cooldown. And I'm just going to keep harassing him, because obviously he can't dodge very well. So, okay, so we're just going to keep farming it up. Pretty boring, so maybe we'll fast forward this part a little bit. I do go in on there, use my ultimate, and see I can teleport right back to my shadow. So actually, let's go back and watch that. Well, not sure if we can. We no. I mean, I guess we could, but okay. So that's fine. So right here, we're just going through their jungle, kind of trying to pick somebody off. That's another thing is that you rely on picking people off. So any straggler that's not with the group, and here I pick up my cutlass, as the first component to Blade of the Ruined King. It's still a very good item. It's very cost efficient by itself. So if you can only afford to pick up the cutlass and then you have to rush some type of more defensive item, you definitely can. I mean, it's a very cost efficient item, and it's great on Zed. It's got the lifesteal, and it's got the active slow as well. It does not have the life and speed drain like the Blade of the Ruined King does, but it does have the slow, so it can be very helpful in getting you kills. So here we're just a little skirmish in the bot lane. I just want to try to push this up, because this game, you can see it goes on for quite a while, about 45 minutes, which is way too long. My team could have wrapped this up much quicker. So I'm trying to, once you get that advantage, once you can push your lane and force your enemy laner to just, there's so much pressure on them, they're feeling the heat. You need to go to other lanes, and if you can't get those kills, you need to push. You need to push, get towers. This is an objective game. This is not a game about just getting kills. This is an objective game. So here I'm just doing what I can, just trying to push this up. Now my team comes, so you immediately go in, try to get the tower. That's the problem, is when they group up like that, there's nothing I can do. I'm too squishy to go in on that. So I'm just going to keep pushing the lane, keep pushing the lane. In late game, Zed becomes... I mean, if you buy Ravenous Hydra, like I like to, and there I miss my shadow like a complete idiot. There you go, I just go in and destroy Quinn with my ultimate. I don't even know if I needed to do that, but I wanted to make sure I got the kill. Late game, if you buy Ravenous Hydra, like I personally like to do, Zed becomes a split-pushing monster. I mean, he's already good at pushing, but with that Ravenous Hydra, he just becomes incredible at pushing. So, my team engages on them. See an Ezreal ult go off. Not really much happening. I'm going to speed this up. And I'm not sure whether or not I can go in. It seems like there's too many of them, so I kind of just stay back. I don't want them to take the blue, but there's not really much I can do, so I go out and I clear it out. It's really unfortunate. And, you know, if you ask for the blue as Zed, your jungler is going to be like, why do you need the blue? But blue is very underrated on Zed. The cooldowns help him a lot. Obviously, he doesn't work off mana, so you're not going to get the mana regeneration part of it. But the cooldowns are very helpful. It's going to reduce the cooldown on your ultimate, on your skills. So, and there we go. We just get in a little team fight, a little scrap. I do end up dying, which is unfortunate because I was 5-0 at that point. So someone does get a nice fat chunk of shutdown gold, which is not what I want. I don't want them to be able to come back in this game. So here we go. We keep pushing. I did pick up my Blade of the Ruined King, which is excellent. And now the next item I'm going to be going for, which is a great item on Zed, is the Last Whisper. Zed scales very well off armor penetration. So, I mean, I wouldn't go a full armor penetration build, but 2 armor penetration items on him are excellent. So here we're going in. If you see what I'm doing, I'm dodging in and out. And here I don't realize how low I am, and I get killed, which is unfortunate, but it happens. Don't get discouraged if you do die. It's gonna happen. You're gonna die plenty of times, especially Zed. If you're still getting used to him, you really have to know when to go in and out of fights. So that's very important because you are squishy. You will die. So here I ask my jungler for the blue, and he smites it immediately. So, and there's another example of people don't really understand how effective the blue can be on Zed. So normally your jungler will not want to give it to you, especially if you're playing a ranked game. They're gonna want to hold on to it. But here we go. We go in. We're fighting. Quinn picks up a double kill, which is unfortunate, but I also pick up my own double kill. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then immediately we're going to want to go for the dragon. Another thing I see a lot is once you get, plenty of kills, everyone's just like, oh, I'm going to go back to base and, buy this next item that I really wanted. No. Go for the dragon. Go for a tower. You got those kills. That means that you have more members than the enemy team. That means you have the advantage. That means if you go to push a tower, they can't say no. There's nothing they're going to do to stop you. So you need to take that. And Dragon's even easier. And you can see their team's pinging Dragon because they're not sure if we got it or not. And we did. Here I pick up my Last Whisper and my Black Cleaver. Two great items on Zed. The Black Cleaver is going to give you a little bit of health. It's going to give you that extra armor pen, and it's going to give you that attack damage. So we're going to bounce on into lane. Not really much I can do at this point because my team's not grouping. This game, like I said, could have gone a lot shorter, but we did a really poor job of, continuing to push, continuing to do everything we had to do. And here you see, that's one of the advantages of playing Zed. Very quick getaway. There's nothing they're not going to catch me. As long as I have my shadow up, they're 99% of the time they're not going to catch me unless they have, Olaf does have a chance of catching me with his axes, but as long as you play it right, you should be fine. And here I see top lane pushing, so I'm going to run up there, grab some quick farm. You need to always be farming, regardless of what's going on in the game. As Zed, you need those items. Zed is item dependent, so you need those items. You need to keep farming. You need to farm the jungle. You need to farm other lanes if they're pushed. You need to farm. You need to get all the minions in your lane. You need to get the dragons. You need to get the tower. Like Zed he's hungry. He wants everything. He wants the kills. He wants the farm. And there we go in. I immediately use my ult on Quinn, blow her the hell up, and then back out. Unfortunately, I did get caught by a Dark Binding there, and that Morgana was a pain in my butt the whole game. She was very good at hitting those Qs. And as Zed, you do not want to be CC'd. CC is Zed's biggest enemy. Because if you get CC'd, you're very squishy. The team's going to blow you up. Because right now, I'm 8-3. They know I'm a huge threat. I mean, also, Ezreal and Riven are also threats. But Ezreal can stay back. He can do his damage from afar. And Riven does have some defenses. Riven has CC. Riven has a stun. She has a knock-up. And at this point, I am the easiest target. I'm the squishiest target. So they're definitely going to want to go for me. As you can see, Riven's got a Giant's Belt, so she's building a little bit of defenses. I'm going straight Glass Cannon for the most part. I mean, I have Merc Treads to deal with some of their magic damage. Because they do have the Morgana, who's doing okay. She doesn't have any kills, but she's got a lot of assists. So I'm going to continue farming. I'm going to take the red, even though my Ezreal really wants it. Because I personally think the red is even better. Because Ezreal can peel for himself a little bit. He's a very good champion at kiting. And Zed, he needs to be able to stick to his target. So red is absolutely amazing on Zed, and if your jungler will give it to you, I would recommend that you try to get it at some point during the game. So here we're just doing a little dance. My team goes in, and as we can see, Morgana pops her ultimate. I kill Karthus. I immediately back out because I do have tower aggro. And look at that. Karthus ultimate. What is it going to do? Oh, nothing. It didn't kill me. And you know what? You wonder why that was? Because I shut him down in lane. He doesn't do any damage. Which is great for us. A fed Karthus is going to be a huge problem because that AoE damage is a nightmare for any team. So if you can shut him down and just basically make him your bitch, you're going to have a good time. So here this Nasus gets tunnel vision, but Ezreal pokes him out, so if he would have kept coming, we probably could have killed him. He is somewhat big, but he really only has one defensive item, which, well, I mean, I guess he has two defensive items, but he's still not that tanky. Nasus is more of an off-tank, and here I see apparently our team stole the red, or they counter-jungled themselves, so I just clear it, so then I'll have the timer. I'll know when it's up. So I'm just farming the jungle. My team is pretty much all going back to base, so I'm going to go back to base as well. And let's see, what do I pick up? This game I do pick up a Bloodthirster. Now, Bloodthirster is good if you're winning and you don't need to push super hard or you don't need to split push. You can definitely do that. You can definitely go Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster is great for the ability to just, I mean, when you get onto a target, you are absolutely gonna blow them up. Any squishy target, even some of the a little bit more tanky targets, you're definitely gonna blow them up. And as you can see there, Karthus is still so squishy. I mean, I've got a little bit of health for my Black Cleaver. I've got those Merc Treads. I did build a Negatron Cloak. That's going to be going into my last item, which is the GA. GA is great on Zed. I think it's the perfect item for him because he is going to have to get in the thick of things, and sometimes that's going to involve dying. So you want to be able to revive yourself, get back up, and keep going. And unfortunately there I do a little bit of a misclick and I go back to my original shadow instead of chasing. So here I'm just like, oh god, we should just go in, we should just tank it. But nobody on our team is really tanky enough to do it. So I drop a ward over the wall and we're just gonna go down and push bot. I ping the bottom tower. We're gonna go try to get that. You just every chance you get, you need to be pushing in these towers. Because objective control and map control wins games. Every time. So we're just going to continue pushing, and try to close out this game. As you can see, the game does end in 5 minutes. And like I said, this game could have ended a lot earlier. So here I'm going to rotate middle and try to get this tower. And they rotate a little bit faster, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do any damage to it. And here Quinn, I mean, this is one of the great things about when your team can follow up, when your team does a good job, and they get tunnel vision on you, because as I said, you're squishy, so they're going to get tunnel vision on you, they're going to try to kill you. Your team can follow up and murder them, which is great. So here, I'm not concerned with, my team is still pretty bloodthirsty, they want those kills. I don't really care. I want to push these towers. I want to end the game. And that's got to be your mentality at some point. Like right now, I'm 10-4-11. So I'm really fed. I can fight any of them one-on-one. I can pretty much blow most of them up. Maybe not Nasus and maybe not Olaf. But most of them I can blow up. So here I pick up my GA. I'm just going to keep... I try to chase the Morgana down because my entire team dies. I don't know why they went in there, but that's fine. So here I'm just gonna I use my shadow to get out of her ultimate range. She continues to try to harass me it's not going to do anything. So here I'm waiting for my team. We're just going to say, hey, let's go for Baron and you know, get one last push and end the game. Because they're pretty much stuck defending. So they come up, they realize we're trying to do Baron, they come up, and this whole fight goes pretty well for us. I single out Morgana, I use my Blade of the Ruined King on her, chase her down, kill her. And here, I think they wanted to try to kill me, but I wonder if they do kill me, actually, I don't remember. So I flash out to get away from Nasus just in case he gets one last Q on me. And there we go, that is an ace, and that should be the end of the game. Yep, and I believe they do surrender right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. If you did, please drop a like or a favorite, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more League of Legends content on my channel. I will be coming out with more videos this week and next week. And if you have any requests for champions that you'd like to see played, or if you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.